Again.
Eight days on one note. New world record. I haven't done anything to my lip. Can we have a look? Anyway, welcome to a new series of Never Mind the Buzzcocks. Oh, yeah! Phil's first guest is the hardest working smile in show business. It's Sir Terry Hall. Terry's last CD featured a Tunisian, a Syrian, a Jew, a Lebanese, an Algerian, a Pole and an Iranian Bengali. It's not only a fine album, but he now knows the phrase cheer up grumpy chops in 9 different languages. His second guest is unemployed Charles Manson, looky-likey and full-time joke murderer Dave Fulton. Before he was a comedian, Dave used to be a climbing instructor, and he says the basic rules of climbing are just like Catherine Zeta-Jones's marriage. Hold on to the craggy rock face and don't look down. Terry and Dave, Phil's team, ladies and gentlemen. Phil's first guest is famed Academy star and what's-his-face, the paramedic from Casualty, Kwame.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
By coming on this show, Kwame's reversed an age-old trend. Most people come on Buzzcocks first, then go straight to Casualty. His second guest is the Ibiza tourist board's greatest asset that doesn't begin with an E. It's superstar DJ Brandon Block. Brandon's a notorious party animal and has been linked with Jordan. The rumour is it was a good night for both of them. She was sitting on the arm of a top DJ and he won a prize for being her millionth customer. And Brandon, I hope you enjoyed that 2-minute trolley dash. Rather than Kwame, Bill's team, ladies and gentlemen. We start the series with Guess Who, Phil, Terry and Dave. 2 big cheeses for you, but which one had to make an emergency landing when the Jamaican police fired at his seaplane?
And the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only drug they'll find is paradise.
Was it husky-voiced, drive-time favourite Seal, who bought me a drink once and it wasn't even his round? Brilliant bloke. Didn't even expect one back, and didn't get one. I've known Sean Hughes 15 years, not a single drink. He'd always go home when it was his round, and that's not like the Irish. Or was it Bono from U2, who coincidentally also bought me a drink once? True story, it was like 5 in the morning in his hotel, a waiter walked past, I was talking to Bono, I said, can I have a drink? He said, no, we stopped serving. I said, sort it out, Bono. He actually went off himself and got me a pint. He's a billionaire, I don't even know him, I'd had far too much to drink at that point, but he went off and stood his shout. Sean Hughes, 9:30, it's my round, but I feel a bit sleepy, I think I'll go home. Like I said, that's not like the Irish. God bless you, Bono, and you bless him back. So, who do you think fell foul of the Jamaican constabulary, Seal or Bono?
Terry's met Bono as well.
Yeah.
He's a nice fellow, but he's very dull, isn't he, Terry?
Well, I always thought he was a bit of a twat before I met him. Yeah.
Well, first off, it was a seaplane flying into Jamaica. Is that what they were shooting at? Right?
I think it may have been a seaplane. I think maybe they thought they were smuggling drugs into Jamaica.
Right. It's one of those things where you come through immigration and they go, you have any drugs? No. You want some?
I say, my wife's been smuggling drugs. Jamaica? No, she swallowed 60 condoms full of cocaine of her own accord.
Terry, what do you think? I know you want to see Bono shot out of the air with some high-powered rifle.
No,
I mean, if it had
really
been my
don't.
choice,
I
it would
really
have been
don't.
a 45 with a hydrostat, a copper-jacketed, a hollow point. It's actually got a lead-filled cone in the middle, or better yet...
Manson knows a little bit too much for my comfort.
SSG 308 with an 800-meter scope. Just take the pilot out right at the neck. Just dives in, looks like an accident.
Did you have a relaxing Christmas then, Dave?
Oh, we sit around the fire, clean the guns. Just wait for Bush to call us up. Well, I think it's got to be Seal because Bono never really had a day job, and Seal was an architect, so Seal did it.
Well, the actual answer is it was Bono. In 1996, Jamaican police received an anonymous tip-off that the plane Bono happened to be travelling in was carrying drugs, fired at the plane, forcing it to land, only to find it contained no illegal substances. Luckily, Bono wasn't hurt. He just walked across the water to safety. On his way, healing the injured with his tears, and thus making them fishers of men. Probably bought them all a pint as well. Sort of bloke he is. In a recent poll, U2's Bono was voted favourite to fill John Lennon's shoes if the Beatles reformed. Personally, I'd have voted for Ronan Keating, as those shoes were outside the Dakota building on the day of Mark Chapman's release. Bill, Kwame and Brandon, here are two office party favourites. Which one of them once brought the freedom of 2,300 slaves? Was it needle-thin Pinhead and grubbier than Courtney Love's knicker drawer, Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction? Or was it na-na-na-na-na-na-na, na-na-na-na-na-na, getting juggied with it? Hospital radio rapper Will Smith. So who liberated 2,300 Sudanese people from slave traders? Was it Perry or was it Will? Man, Perry's an ugly man, isn't he? He's got that effect that he's pressed his face up against some glass without actually doing it.
That's a perfect example of why never to have your photo taken at Turkish customs.
Did you have anything up there?
I like Will's pose in there. What do you think?
He just come out of Turkish customs.
That was close.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this. There's some sort of riot going on in the... See, that's slightly misleading, because it looks like it's all sort of a green... Like it says solar power, but on the other side it says, could not produce enough energy to print this sign. So I had to do it in pen, like some sort of twat.
And carry it myself. I heard that this was going to be banned, or this video was banned, because they thought it was like a kind of a message to terrorists.
What? Like, stop using proper power and use solar power? It takes a long time for the Stinger missile to charge up from the sun, though. Oh, eclipse. Still.
Imagine losing a war because of an eclipse. That'd be awful, wouldn't it?
You see that his hand is pixelated for some strange... Why would they pixelate a hand? I just started...
Well, presumably he was doing a rude gesture.
What?
That's not rude.
Well, it is. It is in the badger world.
Is there anything outside the animal kingdom that interests you?
Yes, you're bearing the kiss of the Cardusian leech. And I don't know, can we see that there's a lady, a lovely lady, which resembles the...
Lovely bullets.
It's the Playboy Crime Watch. Lovely bullets, actually, yes. It's a reconstruction of a burglary, but in a porn form. I've no idea. Well, what do you reckon?
Well, bearing in mind that Will wants to be the first black president of America, I think it would be a really good gesture. You know, Bush went over, didn't he? He went to Gorey Island and he stood there and he went, you know, and he did his big political thing.
Bill was found on Gorey Island.
You were?
Yes.
Robinson Crusoe brought him back and trained him up to be a human.
For a while, I lived in Southend like Pocahontas and I withered. So that's on a similar gesture.
Similar gesture. Like
he
George
releases
Bush
the
did.
slaves.
He releases it and he runs for president.
Good
No,
thinking.
good thinking.
Good thinking.
Thank you.
In which case, it's probably the other one. I'll go with Perry because it's less like. I'll go with the gurning Turkish customs freak.
Yeah, no, well, of course it was. It was Perry Farrell. He donated $100,000, fair play to him, to free thousands of Sudanese slaves. In a similarly generous gesture, Huey Morgan from the Fun-Loving Criminals gives 98% of all of his royalties to farmers in Afghanistan, Morocco and the Lebanon. And the other 2% he donates to farmers of King's Rizla. Perry Farrell's other band, Porno for Pyros, was so called because he claims he spent the whole of the LA riots masturbating furiously. I remember seeing Rodney King taking a beating. I must have missed that video. Next up is the intros round for Dave and Phil. Here's yours to do towards Terry. The thing is, if Terry doesn't know it, he won't say anything.